Good morning YouTube. Off out for a vlog this morning. Anyway, there's been a few changes to the highway code and I've had a new suit. If you're interested, stick around. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, good morning YouTube. Happy New Year. I've not done much this year. I had made a couple of vlogs, but I had a few camera issues, but nothing much. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about today on this beautiful sunny end of January day. Oh, it's about the 28th or 29th or something. It's absolutely gorgeous this morning. 9.5, 10 degrees, and it's dry at last. Went out yesterday. Got the bike absolutely minging, but today it's quite pleasant. So a couple of things I want to talk about. One is the changes in the highway code with relation to road users, and the other one is the changes in the highway code with relation to telephones, sat navs, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I've got it. I've finally got it. Another thing is we went up north for a week, visit the folks up north, and as you know, I normally wear the Halvarson's waterproof leather, and I've got my old Rucker. Well, my old Rucker was coming to the end of its life. I'd had it 12 or 13 years, and the enhancements in Laminated, I decided it was time to retire my old drop liner Rucker and get myself some laminated kit. So I went up north to Motorcycle Essentials, or his place, where I normally get a bit of a discount because he always gives IAM members discount, which is great, and I've been going there a long time. So I do think if you're going to look after your local shop, they'll generally look after you. So I went up expecting to get an Halvarson's laminated suit. Well, he hadn't got the trousers, he'd only got the jacket. And I tried the jacket on, and a little bit snug round the arms and round the neck, and baggy in the belly, which ain't much good because I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. Anyway, he said, why don't you try the Bering laminate on? I said, I didn't even know they'd got one on. He said, yeah, Bering, old family, been going for donkey's years, French I believe, linked in with Segura. He said, we've got a laminate soft shell. I said, well, that sounds nice. Anyway, I slipped the jacket on and it was snug. I'll show you later in the walk around what it looks like. Ever so snug. The neck weren't too tight. Nice and supple in the arms. Weren't pinching or squeezing. It's got decent function. It's also fully laminate. I thought, well, have you got the strides, the trousers for it? I said. He said, yeah. I just get past him. He said, yeah, of course we have. So I put the strides on, and the one thing I first noticed was they're very long, nice and long. Well, as you know, I'm 6'5", and they come all the way down to my ankles and the floor. I thought, well, this is the result. So I've bought them, purchased them. They're quite reasonable as well, nothing like Rucker money. I think the recommended retail price was £389 for the jacket, which is called the Flagstaff, and £309 for the pants, which are called a Westport. Anyway, I'm wearing them now. I wore them yesterday in the cold and rain and they were good, and I'm coming out again, the weather's a bit better, so I'll give you a bit of a walk around of the suit later on. But let's get back to the highway code. We've come out of Europe, we was going to have no more bureaucracy and bullshit, and here we go, we're starting already. Those in London have decided we need a hierarchy of road users. I always thought we'd got a hierarchy of road users. The biggest, ugliest, heaviest generally has its right of way, and the lightest, littlest doesn't. But for some reason the cycling lobby has become huge. Now I can understand all the stuff about horses, I really can. I live in Cornwall. Here we go. I live in Cornwall, and I ride round on a lot of the little Nadgery roads. But of course there's always horses, and they're all range of kids and sizes. Sometimes you'd have 2 or 3 8, 9 year olds on horses, and you've got to give them space. I really do understand it. I think it's the most sensible thing. The last thing you want is 2 ton of horse back kicking out and knocking you off your bike. You might as well either stop, switch your engine off, or if they're okay and they call you by, creep by about 10 or 20 mile an hour. It's not an issue at all for me. But I do think this latest thing about pedestrians stepping off curves and cyclists overtaking on the inside and the outside, I do think that's a bit of a joke. The one rule, or no, they say rules, they're suggestions, they're not commands. They are vehicles should do this, vehicles should do that. They're not actual commands, vehicles must. So you've got to use a bit of common sense. But the rule that I don't like is this H3. Now, I've been riding motorbikes a long time. I pride myself on increasing my hazard awareness. And when you do a bit of advanced riding, the one thing that one of the first things you have to learn is about overtaking is, whenever you approach a junction, assume the person in front is going to turn off. So don't overtake. Whether you're approaching a left-hand T-junction, a right-hand T-junction, or even a crossroads. The golden rule, you never ever overtake. Now all of a sudden we got this new rule H3, where there could be a couple of cars waiting for a junction. Crossroads even, where one could be waiting to turn right and one could be waiting to turn left. Now all of a sudden you've got to give way to cyclists who might overtake you on your outside and your inside. I can't see it. Sorry, I just do not understand. You know yourself, because you're all bikers, they never see you coming from behind anyway. And we've got engines motorised, and you'll pull in and you'll overtake them and pull in, and the brake lights will go on, and as if to say, Jesus, where did he come from? He must have been doing 200 mile an hour. As you know as well as I do, it's because they're only really interested in what's going on in front. And it's so dangerous. Here we've got a group now, we've got a peloton, we've got about 5 or 6 riders. Now I can half understand them wanting to protect themselves, they're looking round. They're doing a reasonable speed, fair dues, great. Give them space, I can't see the problem. But allowing them to come from behind you to overtake you at one of the most dangerous places you'll ever be on the road, an intersection. Plus the fact is, I know if you did it on a motorbike, you went up the outside of a line of traffic and the chap at the front decided to do a right turn and you T-boned him, I think you'll find when you went to court you wouldn't have much satisfaction with the judge. So why have they suddenly changed the priority to allow cyclists to come past you on the outside or the inside? You could have a situation like that there where there's 6 of them. 3 could come up the inside, 3 could come up the outside. The chap in trap 1 could turn left and the chap in 2 could turn right. All 6 of them end up getting bloody T-boned. Now, you know, I know you've got to apply some common sense to all this. It's like anything else, common sense. And like I say, they are recommendations that you should obey. I do love the torque of this motor. If ever you get the chance to ride a boxer engine with a 12 or the 1250 engine in, give it a go. Anyway, I've ranted on long enough about bloody cyclists. As for pedestrians stepping off the curb and you've got to stop, I just can't see that either. You've got Mr. 38-ton lorry and you've got the old biddy who turns left and thinks, oh, I'll stop and let these people stop. Go across the road, sorry. And what happens? Mr. 38-ton lorry goes straight up the shufty, bosh. I don't know. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? You expect somebody, when they start to commence a manoeuvre, to complete the manoeuvre. You don't really expect them to do half a manoeuvre. Oh, I'm going to half turn into this road. Oh, I'm going to stop because there's 2 pedestrians who look like they need some help crossing the road. I don't know. Rant, rant, rant. Sorry, folks. I'm a psychopath, and I. Anyway, the other one. The laws have changed. Now, this is quite an important one to all of us bikers. Telephones, handheld devices of any kind, they've got to be fitted securely to the vehicle or motorcycle. So if you've got a sat nav, it's got to be in a cradle. If you've got a telephone, it's got to be in a cradle. Of course, if you're using CarPlay or Android Auto, it's fixed in. Now, where the rules are a bit sticky is it's supposed to be hands-free operation only. There's not just to stop people making telephone calls and texting while they're riding. It's people scrolling through playlists and doing other silly things, looking at the weather. Oh, I'll just put the weather on my CarPlay. All these silly little things, that's what they're trying to stop. So, what do? You know as well as I do. You tap and punch the screen and all sorts of nonsense. But you're going to have to be careful. It's going to be an endorsable offence. If you are wanting to play with your phone or your device or CarPlay or whatever it is, you've got to stop, switch the engine off, and take it out the cradle, get off the bike or get out the car and mess with it. I should imagine there's a little bit of sensibility from the police or whatever. They just don't really want you playing with your devices while you're going along. So then I'm thinking, what sort of device do you use? Most people will know me. I've always had a sat nav, twat nav, whatever you want to call it. I don't actually use it for where I'm going. Sometimes use it to deliberately get lost and get home. But I do like to listen to music, and I put a playlist on. And generally, I'll put a playlist on that'll last about 5, 6, 7 hours. So it's not really an issue for me to mess with my playlist. Plus, I've got the whiz wheel, the whiz wheel on the BM, which is very good, where you can actually scroll between screens and you can alter your volume, which is quite good. I've noticed a lot of people are starting to use, or well, manufacturers especially, are pushing the user towards integrated sat navs, integrated CarPlay and Android Auto. Are they any good? The one big difference between your satellite device and your telephone is it relies on actual satellites. Now, I know it sounds daft. You think when you connect to your GPS that you're actually using a satellite, but you're not. You're using the telephone network. I'm just going to nip past because I don't think 16 mile an hour is acceptable. So it's a funny one, isn't it? You think you're on the satellite because you've got your sat nav on your phone, but you're not actually. It's a telephone. Anyway, I've asked a couple of people recently if they have any trouble using. One of the main ones they're using now is Kalimoto, Google Maps, whatever. The problem is, when you're in, well, I say the problem is, the good thing about these apps is, and telephones, is when you're in an area with vast amount of coverage, cities, motorways, places where the people are, the population are, most systems or providers have quite a good phone signal. But of course, when you go out into the depths of Welsh Wales and Suffolk and Cornwall and Scotland, you know as well as I do, you drop into a dip and you lose the signal. You lose the signal, the map's gone. Well, the map don't go straight away, or the directions don't go straight away, but all of a sudden it doesn't recalculate or something, you miss a turning, whatever. And I've heard similar sort of stories with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. One of the big drawbacks to those two is you have to have them connected to a headset. Now, you don't need to connect your sat nav to your headset. You don't need to use it for telephones. You don't need to use it for music. I've got my nav 5 and it's a nav 6 I've got now. You put your nav 6 in the cradle, you can have a look at the screen every now and again. You know what's coming up, you know what's happening. But with your Android Auto, you must be connected to a headset. Now, I've seen some of these boys go on these long days out, 6, 7, I can't do it, 8, 9, 10 hours in the saddle. All of a sudden they're just about to reach the destination and the headset runs out of battery life. All of a sudden you've got no connectivity with the dashboard or the telephone. In other words, you're stuffed again. I did ask one chap the other day, I said, when you go to Spain, because he was using Kalimoto, and I think it looks a really, really good app. I'll give it a try one of the days. I said, when you go to Spain, what do you do with a Kalimoto when you lose the signal? He said, we use sat-navs. I said, oh. So when you're vlogging and doing bits and pieces over here, you got your phone and all that and everything. He said, yeah. He said, oh, we use a sat-nav. He says, because invariably, 1 minute EE works, the next minute Vodafone works, the next minute O2 will work. He said, but they're never all working at the same time. So I thought, these are all interesting things, because a lot of people they're decrying the poor old sat-nav, and I'm trying to stand up for it a little bit. Especially the BMW Garmin version, which I know there's been a few problems. And to be honest, because the car manufacturers who rule the roost now haven't got a slice of the sat-nav pie, or they won't buy a sat-nav manufacturer, they want to use this CarPlay and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto because it's cheaper and it's easier to integrate into the dashboards or the clocks. You know, it's one of them things, isn't it? I do waffle on, don't I? Vlog. I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy coming out and talking to you. I'd like to know what you think, because there's always somebody who's going to be vehemently opposed to one system, or somebody who's, oh, they're all for the other system. Oh, this is the greatest thing since life. Me, I'm quite open-minded. I'm prepared to use whatever's the best. The one thing he did say about using your phone is if something like Google Maps or whatever, it's always best to download the whole map for the area you're going to your telephone before you go, so as when you do go offline, you've still got the maps, which I thought was a good point, really good point. So there you go. We've had a little bit about my suit, we've had a little bit about horse riders and cyclists. The hierarchy of the roads, eh? Doesn't it sound great? I'm not going to start on that again. And the rules about using telephones. What I can say is keep your eyes on the road, and I think hazard awareness and perception is far more important than rules and regulations. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit of a walk round and show you my suit. How about that? Great fun. If you're interested, just stick around. If you're not, I'll see you next time in the next one. So this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-da for now. Ta-da. Thanks for staying with me, YouTube. Anyway, new suit, laminated suit, Bering Flagstaff jacket, Westfield matching pants. Really pleased. The quality seems very good. Bering have been going a long time, and I really wanted a laminate jacket. I did wear this out in the rain yesterday and it worked really well. So the one thing I did like straight away is the neck is adjustable. So there's a little thing that slides across there, I'll show you, slides across, and it allows you to adjust the fit of the neck, make it more comfortable. Superb. 2 pockets there, little pockets. You got an inside pocket just here, zipped. I believe they're waterproof. Flat pocket there, flat pocket there. Really good. Turn round, you've got a mat pocket on the back. Cracking, nice fit. So, zips up the outside, open the cuff, and you can also bring them down from the top to allow a bit of air in. Superb idea, really. On the top, on the shoulders, we got the air vent there. It's also got an inner which is closed, so if you want full air you need to open the inner as well. It's to keep it waterproof. Good idea, really, I thought. What do you think of that? Trousers, similar. We got nice vent up the side, good long zip down the trouser leg, so if you want to get it over your boots. I've got my TCX off-roader type boots, fantastic boots, can't fault them, never leaks. Well, the trousers go over there, lovely. How about that? So, a laminated suit, £389, about 309 or something, 310, 400 odd, £700, full suit. Absolutely amazing, can't fault it. Really, really, really pleased. Bit of an adjuster here if you want to use it, tighten the sleeves. I'm a big chap, I like a bit of movement. Shoulder armour, CE, elbow armour, hip armour, knee armour, all CE comes with the suit, no back protector. It's a funny one, this. Most people like their own style of back protector, or they have a back protector which they wear and they put it between different suits. I must admit I like one inside the suit, although I have got a Knox Aegis, so I think it was 29 quid for the back protector. They're very like the D30 stuff, you can't fault it, good quality. While I was up there I did treat myself to a new helmet as well, which I'm not using today because I've not got it all rigged up for vlogging. I bought a Scorpion Carbon XO14, cracking looking helmet. Comes with a dark visor as well if you want to use it. I'm really pleased actually. I've got to get it set up. And that while I was there I did treat myself to a pair of gloves. How about that? My old Bering gloves, I've been wearing my old Berings for ages, but they're not so waterproof now. They're still very warm, but they're playing up a bit. The one glove works 9 times out of 10 and the one works 8. But I bought these, Cois, well finished and very waterproof. I've been out in heavy rain and they are waterproof. Linny had them first, she's got the ones with like a leather finish, the one before this. Same glove, just slightly different model. Really pleased. How about that? I'm all kitted out. New helmet, new suit. What am I like? I did really want laminate though, I'm chuffed a bit. Anyway, if you want one of these Bering suits, pop up to see Ollie at Motorcycle Essentials. As I say, if you're an IAM member, he'll give you the discount. And if you go in regular, he'll give you the discount. They're probably not the cheapest place in the world, but if you look after them and you go in regular, you'll get a discount off most things. Anyway, this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now.